Hello, fellow journey runners. Today is week 9, day 6. It is Saturday. Happy rest day. Today I'm going to go over a little bit more on form. And we've been building upon our form little by little, and I've been giving you some exercises to strengthen ourselves, our core, and doing some exercises while we're running to make sure that we are becoming as efficient as we possibly can, but more importantly, having proper form allows us to stay injury free and allows us to have a better time running. So today I'm going to take us a step further, which is working on our posture. Now, what I'm going to explain to you today actually is a little debatable, meaning that what I'm going to show you, some people believe and some people do not believe is the proper form. I leave it up to you. I'm going to show you what I prefer, and of course you can go out there and do your own research and figure out which is best for you. And again, maybe it is better for one person versus another what the proper form is. I'm not here to tell you. Again, I'm here to inform you, and then you get to take it and run with your journey. So, before we talked about how we didn't want to be hunched over. This I truly believe we do not want because we restrict the oxygen into our lungs. So what we have been doing is making sure that our shoulders are back and we have good posture. Now, for some of you, this next step may be natural to you, but for some of you, maybe not. Maybe you've been running like this, which is straight. There's a straight line going from my shoulders down to my hips, down through my knees, and down through my ankles as I stand here. I do not prefer this type of running. In fact, I like to slightly tip at the hip. And so when I'm running, you'll see me out here. If you were to look and draw a straight line, I'm no longer straight. I still want my shoulders back in posture there, but now I'm engaging my core and leaning a little bit or bending a little bit at my hip. So I'm not straight, I'm bending just slightly. Not so much that my butt is sticking out, but more just a slight bend to kind of let gravity kind of let me pull forward. Because what I'm going to show you next is some exercises. I know we've been doing a lot of exercises, but it's important that we do these types of exercises to help us, and I'll explain a little bit later. But what I want to focus on now is still having that good posture, but tilting at the hip just slightly. Again, you don't want to be exaggerated, so when you're running, you just have this kind of slight bend at the hip. The next thing we want to do, and we can focus on that, and that's what I'm going to be calling out during our runs. So when I say posture check, how's our posture, our shoulders back, I'm going to be looking at are your shoulder, is your posture good, but also are we leaning a little bit to allow gravity to kind of pull us forward. And you'll notice as you do that just slightly, your body wants to fall forward. And to me, that allows us to use less energy to push us forward. And you may also notice that your knees want to tend to bend to support yourself, which is something that we want to have happen naturally. We don't want to be running with our knees stiff and hitting the ground. We want a little bend in our knees because it's a little spring there. I'm going to show you some mobility exercises. I'm not going to give them all to you at once. I'm only going to give you one at a time because we want to add this to our core and our upper body exercises as well as our posture. Now, some of you may be asking, what are mobility exercises? Think of mobility exercises as a way of stretching and strengthening your muscles around the joints at the same time. So when you're stretching, you're more of in a static position, But with mobility exercises, you're more dynamic. You're moving through the range of motion, and that's one of the other important aspects of mobility exercises, is to practice and get our body moving through the full range of motion that we need as runners. And that, of course, allows us to have proper form, proper strength, proper flexibility, and reduces the injuries that we want, because we want to be able to move through our full range of motion when we're running out there. So this first exercise I'm going to do is going to be focused on our ankles, because we want to be flexible on our ankles, and what I'm trying to work us towards is going from midfoot running to a slightly raised heel running form. Now, doesn't mean we have to get there. It's just what we're trying to progress to, because we want to be slightly raised on our heels to have less contact with the ground. But the whole idea is to fully move away from heel striking. So if at this point you're still heel striking, and you can again see that by taking a video of yourself running past the camera, then this should help you get there. And if not, there are other exercises which we will get through or get to at the end of this program, where after we get through all the mobility exercises and get through the proper form, then I will start isolating different exercises we can do in addition to isolate the things that we want to work on. Again, form running to me is a never-ending pursuit of perfectionism, and there's something we can always work on to get better. And you'll see that if you focus on these things, mobility exercises, core exercises, all these different things, you will have a better chance of not experiencing an injury. So let's get into the mobility exercises. So what you want to do is take your one leg and put it back like you're running and kind of bend it. And then you want to take your front leg and kind of just try to keep your back foot down and keep your heels down on both feet and touch your knee to the wall. If it's too easy, back up a little bit and try to touch the wall. And once you get to that spot, a little difficulty, you'll just do that a couple of times. Try to keep this leg straight like you're running and pushing off. And switch legs. That will strengthen your ankles and also gain some flexibility.